right, so my clock is reading 11, so we will go ahead and get started. This is the CData coffee break session. I am Jared Johnson. I'm a senior technology evangelist with CData Software. And in the wings for today's session, I have Ankit Singh and Kristen Churchill, who are both SEs with CData. They will be here. They are here to answer your questions throughout the presentation. As you have questions, please enter those in the Q&A panel in the Zoom interface, and that will allow us to record them and answer them and follow up with anybody that has asked any questions that need direct follow-up as needed. I also want to let all of the attendees know that today's session will be recorded, and the recording will be made available to all of the attendees shortly after the session closes. Okay, great. So with the logistics out of the way, we can get into the very brief presentation portion of today's session. This is the CData Coffee Breaks Connect Salesforce with Excel 365, just a 15-minute session where we're going to showcase how you can work with your live Salesforce data in Excel 365 using the CData Connect Cloud connector that ships with Excel and Excel 365. In today's session, I'm going to give a brief overview of CData as a company, a brief overview of CData Connect Cloud as a product, and then we'll spend most of our time in the demo itself. For anyone that isn't familiar, CData Software is the real-time data connectivity company. Our self-service data products and connectivity solutions provide universal access to live data from hundreds of popular on-premises and cloud applications. Between our over 9,000 active customers and 100 OEM partners, or more than 100 OEM partners rather, millions of users around the world are using CData's connectivity solutions to enhance analytics, to drive cloud adoption, to streamline operations, and generally just create a more connected business. We have our headquarters in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, which is part of the Research Triangle Park, but we have regional offices in EMEA and APAC, and sales and support teams are available from those regions. So we are able to serve all of our customers across the globe thanks to our growing body of 300 plus employees. As I mentioned before, we have active customers and OEM partners. Our active customers could be as simple as a mom and pop shop that wants to view their CRM data in Excel, or it could be a larger organization, Fortune 500 company, that is embedding our connectivity solutions within their own platform or application to extend the data connectivity reach of their platform to their customers. In today's session, I'm going to be demonstrating how to connect to Salesforce in CData Connect Cloud, and then how to connect to that Salesforce data through CData Connect Cloud in Excel. CData Connect Cloud is our data connectivity as a service platform. It provides access to live data from more than 100 data sources, and that includes Salesforce. Because it's a SaaS application, there's no software to install or drivers to configure, and it is engineered to work with all of the data applications that you use. We have bespoke connectors for a variety of data clients, and that includes things like Excel, Power BI, and other platforms, Google Sheets, Looker Studio, and that list goes on. But we also provide common interfaces for working with your data. So if you're working with a data tool that we don't have a bespoke connector for, we're able to provide connectivity from those platforms through common interfaces. So CData Connect Cloud can look like SQL Server in the cloud. You can build OData or REST interfaces from your CData Connect Cloud instance and provide that real-time data connectivity to all of your data from any of the supported sources to the data tools, platforms, and applications that you're already using. So that kind of gets us through the informational portion of today's session. So with that, I'm going to jump into the demo. So we're going to take a look at CData Connect Cloud. The idea here is that we're going to use CData Connect Cloud to provide connectivity to our Salesforce data in an Excel 365 workbook. So CData Connect Cloud, we start on this overview page. It gives you an idea of what's been happening with your CData Connect Cloud instance. But to get started, we're going to click on the Connections tab, and we're going to add a connection to Salesforce. So I simply search for Salesforce. I find the data source that I want, and we're going to call this Salesforce Coffee Break. There are a variety of authentication schemes supported for different data sources that we enable. So in this case, I'm going to use the OAuth that's capable from Salesforce. So I'll click Sign In. A new tab is going to open. It's going to ask me to authenticate with Salesforce. So I will enter my username and password for Salesforce here. It's simply just going to make sure that I am signed in. And at this point, now I'm authenticated with my Salesforce instance. And I will click Create and Test to ensure that the connection has been configured properly. So now that I've connected, I'm ready to view my data in the client tool of my choice. I know that I want to work from Excel 365, so I will search from here, and this gives me the information on how to get started. So I need to get this. So I'll click this. It takes me to the Excel app marketplace where I can install this into my Microsoft instance. So I will just sign in to my Microsoft account. Just asking for permissions. So I'll click Get It Now. And then at this point, I will be able to access the CData Connect Cloud connector from my Microsoft 365 instance. So it's ready to go. I actually have a workbook already open. But before I do that, we're going to log into my Salesforce instance so that we can see the data that's in Salesforce. And then show how we provide both read and write capabilities when connecting to Salesforce through CData Connect Cloud. So we'll connect here. And I'm just going to pull in my accounts. So we'll just look at the list of all the accounts, get passingly familiar with it. So we can see here, we have a variety of account names that are available. So when I query data, I should see the same thing when I'm connecting from Excel. So we've got the list of accounts. And now we're ready to pull that data into Excel. So since I've installed this into Excel, I simply click the data ribbon and click CData Connect Cloud. This is going to ask me to authenticate with CData Connect Cloud. Since I'm already signed into my instance, it's just going to pull my username from the fact that I've already signed in. And I'm just going to allow Excel to connect to CData Connect Cloud. At this point, you can see all of the options that are available. We'll start by importing. I know that I want to connect to my Salesforce Coffee Break connection. I can choose from the tables. Each of these tables represents an entity or an object that is available within Salesforce. So we have accounts. We can see there's activity feeds. If I scroll down, we'll see more information. There's assets and any object or entity that's going to be available within your CRM is going to be available through Connect Cloud. We can also see that I have a variety of fields that get surfaced as columns that are available to me. So you can be selective in which ones you surface. You can also add filters and sorting. You can set a limit if you want to, say, preview the data. But at this point, really, I just want to get all of it. So I'll click Execute. And this is now sending a request to Salesforce through CData Connect Cloud to get my account information. So we can see here, we've got a variety of the tables here. And then what's great is that this isn't read-only. If you were paying attention, you noted that it wasn't just importing, but we could also update. So let's say that I know that BubbleTube is actually BubbleTube Incorporated. So I can come in here and I can change that. The connector is going to detect that the change was made and highlight that change. And at this point, I'm just going to push an update. So I'm going to update the selected field. So I'll click Execute. I'll confirm that I do in fact want to make the update. So, there's a 2-click process that prevents you from making any accidental pushes to your backend data source. So at this point, it's taking the information that I have entered in my Excel spreadsheet and it is pushing it to Salesforce through CData Connect Cloud. So we'll just wait for the execute to complete. When it finishes, we'll see a notification pop up that we've successfully pushed the changes from this Excel sheet back to the originating data source. So we can close this. It refreshes the page when it does that to get rid of the red highlighted text. And we can go back into Salesforce. We can see here that it was BubbleTube. I'll just refresh this accounts view. And we can see that it is now been updated to BubbleTube Incorporated. So now you have real-time access to your Salesforce data in Excel. You can do all of the wonderful things that you want to be able to do in Excel. You can do your charts, your reports. You can share this spreadsheet across the organization so that others can view the Salesforce data from within Excel, and then do all of the other cool things that are available in Excel. And because it has both read and write capabilities, you can also do some data cleansing and deduplication as needed based on this write back functionality. So that's going to conclude the demo portion of today's session. And with that, we will take the time to jump into the questions. So as you have questions, please enter those in the Q&A panel, and we will start getting through those. So it looks like we've already got a couple questions coming in. As you have those questions, again, I just want to remind everyone to enter them in the Q&A panel. If we get through the questions that are currently open, we have a set of frequently asked questions that I can go through to give the attendees time to answer or ask and answer their questions. So the first question that came in is it only pushing the changes? So is the CData Connect Cloud connector only pushing the changes, or is it pushing the entire data set? So you have the option to choose whether you push the selected records only, or you can choose to update all. And that gets even more granular, but it will only push the changes even from those selected. So if you end up highlighting a bunch of rows, but only one or two of those rows have been changed, it's only going to push the update for those individual rows that have been asked. So there, Ankit and Kristen are currently typing answers to this question, to these questions. So I will start covering others. So one that's being asked is, will it connect to Salesforce Marketing Cloud? Yes. So Salesforce Marketing Cloud is one of the more than 100 data sources that are supported in CData Connect Cloud, along with Salesforce. So another question is, can the data be pushed from Outlook emails to Salesforce? So that's certainly going to be an option, but you'll have to reach out to our team to get more information on exactly how to perform that. So this is not an application to application integration, in that it's not going to be able to read Outlook emails and in the same interface push that data into Salesforce. But if you have a process for pulling those Outlook emails into Excel and then using that information again to push the data to Salesforce, then that would be an option for you. So you could use CData Connect Cloud to connect to your Outlook emails, pull that data into Excel, and then use the add-in to push that data back into Salesforce. All right, so what other questions? What type of CData license do you need to use this? So for any licensing, pricing questions, our sales team is going to be the best choice for that. CData Connect Cloud is licensed on a per user, per connection basis with some usage, but we're very generous in the way that we scale pricing and payment for usage. But you can reach out to our sales team, sales@cdata.com, to get the exact information based on your use case, the number of users you have, the number of data sources that you need to connect to in order to get that. And then so must each connector be purchased separately. So we tend to bundle, so you'll get a set of connections based on how many, or a set license based on how many connections you need, and so that scales. The information is available on our website for that at cdata.com/cloud. But also, if you have more specific questions, you can reach out to sales@cdata.com to get those answered. So we're getting close to time. I do want to honor the 15-minute commitment that we made. So I'm just going to throw up the next step slides. If there are more questions that come in, our team is happy to stick around. I mentioned these links before, but here they are written out. And I think that Ankit and Kristen are going to also add some links in the chat for these as well. So you can learn more at cdata.com/cloud. You can download or not download. You can start a free trial at cloud.cdata.com. And one of the great things about CData Connect Cloud is that when we say free trial, we mean actually free. You don't have to enter any billing information to get access to that free trial. And as I've said before, your best place to ask questions is going to be sales@cdata.com. We have business development reps that watch that inbox, and um, and we'll triage those questions to the right resource. So if you have a technical question, if you have a troubleshooting question, if you have a bug to report, whatever that case is, the sales@cdata.com, the sales team will funnel that question to our technical team, to our support team, or our engineers as needed. But our sales team is also equipped to answer those pricing and licensing questions that you have. So I'm not seeing any more open questions. I'll ramble for just a couple more seconds to make sure nobody else has anything open and pressing that they want to ask. Again, as I said, sales@cdata.com if you want to ask questions later. So I think that's it. So I just want to say thanks to Ankit and Kristen for handling the chat. Thanks to everyone for attending. And we will see you all at the next webinar.